Oh, this is the awkward thing when there's dead air in these Ask Ollie videos. This happens a lot. It's like when you're trying to think of an answer to a question and you can't exactly get the answer out. So yeah, this is one of those little mini outtakes that you're seeing right now. What is going on, everyone? How are you doing? Hope you're doing good, because it is good to feel good, and I'm not going to bore you any longer because we're going to go straight into the video. We are back once again with another monthly Ask Ollie. I love doing these videos, and we have got quite a few questions this time. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into those questions. Oh yeah, question time with Ollie. Let's do this. If you could travel anywhere, where would you go? This is a good question because I love traveling, as everyone knows, and there are a lot of places I would like to go. If it was, say, a year ago, I would have said Los Angeles, clearly, because, you know, I went out to Los Angeles earlier this year, and that was fun. But if I could go anywhere, probably either South Africa or New Zealand, one of those places, because South Africa, it's got quite a big lot of history to it, and you know, there's just epic landscapes out there, as in New Zealand, epic landscapes. And one of my favorite film franchises, Lord of the Rings, was filmed in New Zealand. So yeah, one of those two places, South Africa or New Zealand. If you had to dye your hair any colour of the rainbow, what would it be and why? So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I would probably go with red because red is my favourite colour, and I'd probably not go bright red because, you know, it sticks out too much. And you know, here's an interesting fact: I haven't actually dyed my hair at all. This brown hair has been all natural. It's never been dyed before, and I kind of like it. But if I were to dye my hair a colour, I'd probably do it like a darkish red, you know. So, you know, yeah, dark red. That's what I'll go with. What's your favourite WWE pay-per-view and why? I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I think one of my favourite pay-per-views is WrestleMania 20. Now, WrestleMania 20 took place at Madison Square Garden, New York City, March 14th, 2004. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I got the date wrong there. But yeah, March 14th, 2004. It included some pretty cool matches. It included matches like Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero for the WWE Championship. It included the return of The Undertaker to his dead man persona against Kane, although that match was not as good as other matches. But it includes one of my favourite matches of all time, and that was Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit in the main event, World Heavyweight Championship on the line. And honestly, it was the crowning achievement of Chris Benoit's career. And I know not a lot of people will talk about Chris Benoit for, you know, what happened to him back in 2007, unfortunately, but you know, that was his crowning achievement. And that was one of my, in the moments after the match where he celebrated with then WWE champion Eddie Guerrero, it was a moment that, you know, it would bring a tear to any wrestling fan's eyes. It was such an awesome moment, and it's the reason why it's one of my favourite pay-per-views of all time. What got you hooked on wrestling? So I think it was around 2002. I was 5 years old, and it was around the time that WWE, like SmackDown and Raw, were broadcast on Sky One, and like, it was Saturday mornings, Sky One, and I remember it was an episode of SmackDown, and it included Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit, and it saw the return of The Undertaker to SmackDown, and I was like, oh, that's a cool match. I wouldn't mind watching a bit more of this. And you know, it was around the time as well as, you know, the one of my favourite wrestlers of all time, Shawn Michaels, made his comeback to WWE. He made his comeback a month prior at SummerSlam. And yeah, that was, again, going on about SmackDown, that was around the time where, you know, there was the likes of Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio, just all these cool guys that were, you know, dominating the scene of SmackDown between 2002 and 2004. if you were a promoter, who would you give the biggest push to? Anyone in the world from any promotion, who would it be and why? Again, I've had a lot of time to think about this, and seeing him, you know, develop over this year, he's made quite a name for himself around the world, and honestly, I would say Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, he's incredible, he is. I know he's a great high flyer. I saw a match back at WCPW a month ago, him and Marty Scurll, and that was an incredible match. You know, it really got me to see what his style is like. He's brilliant, he is, and obviously, you know, he's made a name for himself in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He won the Best of the Super Juniors tournament earlier this year, and I remember, what was it, during Paul Heyman's Q&A tour of the UK earlier this year, in which he handpicked Will Ospreay to be, you know, probably the next big thing. Obviously, not referring to what Brock Lesnar used to be called, but yeah, Will Ospreay, incredible. I would like to see him, you know, as my top guy, and you know, dominating the scene. How much would a woodchuck fuck if a woodchuck could fuck wood? What? Okay, what came first, the chicken or the Kentucky Fried? What? Nah, but seriously, if you were to swap someone from the main roster in an NXT roster, someone goes up, someone goes down, who would you choose? From the main roster, I would pick Apollo Crews to go down back to NXT, and the reason I say this is because I just feel like he was promoted to the main roster a bit too quickly, and I feel like, you know, he could have stayed in NXT for a little longer to, you know, develop, you know, his mic skills, his charisma, and, you know, a bit more of his in-ring style. Like, I mean, I have no problem, you know, with his, you know, high-flying style or athletic style that, you know, he has. But, you know, he could have developed that a bit more, you know, maybe could have been NXT champion before coming to the main roster. You never know, but I feel like, you know, he was promoted a bit too quickly, because he made his debut around, what, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2015, and then he made his debut literally 8 months later on the night after WrestleMania 32, and I feel like that was a bit too quick. And, you know, he's not really, you know, lived up to his name as he did in NXT. So I would bring him down, and then from NXT to promote. Now, there's quite a few names that I would have picked. I just, like, you know, the Glorious Bobby Roode, Austin Aries. I would pick Samoa Joe. And the reason I would say Samoa Joe is because, you know, he's dominated NXT, you know, since he made his debut last year, and honestly, you know, building himself up to be, you know, the monster heel that he is now, and obviously, you know, in previous promotions when he's been a monster heel, you know, this now was a good time to bring up Samoa Joe. I mean, I have this feeling that they're gonna, you know, after he's finished his program with Shinsuke Nakamura, they're gonna bring up Samoa Joe. That's how I see it. But, you know, he's more than ready. You know, I'd like to see him have, you know, a really good feud. Maybe with someone like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, you know, two, you know, contrasting styles, you know, two big guys, two, you know, that could be a great WrestleMania match. So I would pick Samoa Joe. And the final question of today is, which British wrestler should WCPW hire next? Now, I've seen a lot of, you know, British wrestlers a lot recently in promotions like WCPW, of course, ICW, Progress Wrestling, and not to pick anyone out of there, sorry, but I would pick, you know, a recent WWE alumni, and that is Stu Bennett or Wade Barrett. And I know he recently announced that he was taking a hiatus from wrestling once he left WWE, and I know that, but, you know, if he were to make a comeback to wrestling, then I would very much like to see him in WCPW. I think it could work, because I'm having this feeling that, you know, WCPW really know how to treat this is what I'm struggling to say. I think WCPW in the past few months has really, you know, known the best way how to treat WWE alumni. I mean, they've done it with Aaron Stevens, they've done it with Drew Galloway, they've done it with Alberto El Patron, or Alberto Del Rio, as he was known in WWE. He's, you know, he recently made his debut, Alberto El Patron, in WCPW, and, you know, he got a hero's welcome. Everyone, you know, everyone, you know, loved him being there in WCPW in Newcastle, and everyone, you know, everyone, I can't think of words, this is the problem, but, you know, he got a hero's welcome, basically. Everyone, you know, loved his charisma, loved his, you know, mic. He basically cut a shoot, he did. He cut a shoot promo against WWE, and, you know, how he was treated in WWE in his second run. But, you know, I feel like going on again to Wade Barrett, I think he would make a perfect fit for WCPW, and also considering the fact he's also British as well, he will make a good fit in WCPW in my opinion. I can't speak today, I don't know why. So yeah, Adam Parmesan, if you're watching, get Wade Barrett into WCPW. And that's where we're going to leave it for today, because yeah, those are some interesting questions. There's quite a lot of questions, and a lot of them actually came from the WCPW or What Culture fans, so shout out to you guys. You lot are an awesome bunch. It's nice to see, you know, the posts that you make in the page, and, you know, have fun and that. And yeah, interesting questions, answer them best as I could. That's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching, and like, comment, subscribe and share the love. See ya!